If you have never studied the history of the Khalsa, watch this film at least once. It will help you understand who the Khalsa are, why they are significant, and the extraordinary role they have played in history. If you have never studied the history of the Khalsa, take the time to learn it. The Khalsa endured decades of struggle. For nearly 83 years, many Sikh warriors lived and fought from forests, mountains, and remote areas. Even after centuries of hardship and sacrifice, many Sikhs continue to speak about freedom and the future of the Khalsa. Many hold the hope and believe that one day the Khalsa will once again live in complete freedom according to the teachings of the Guru. After the martyrdom of Banda Singh Bahadur in 1716, the Sikh community faced one of the darkest periods in its history. Rewards were offered for the capture or killing of Sikhs. Sikhs were hunted down and executed without fair trials. Thousands of Sikhs were publicly executed to spread fear. Many Sikhs were tortured before being put to death. Sikh homes, lands, and property were confiscated. Sikhs were forced to flee into forests, hills, and deserts to survive. Sikh families were targeted and separated. Sikh religious gatherings and pilgrimages were restricted. Repeated attacks were carried out against Sikh religious sites, including the Harmandir Sahib. Informer networks were created to track and capture Sikhs. Sikh warriors were constantly pursued by government forces. To survive, many Sikhs lived in the forests, slept on horseback, fought guerrilla battles, and disappeared back into the wilderness after every attack. Despite decades of persecution, the Khalsa never surrendered. Their resistance eventually led to the rise of Maharaja Ranjit Singh and the establishment of the Sikh Empire. The Khalsa ruled Punjab for 50 years, 40 years under Maharaja Ranjit Singh, followed by more years. The British government the gold was stolen and taken away, looted $17 trillion worth of gold to UK, after Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji's rule in Punjab. The price of this gold will be $305 trillion in 2026. The British government made historians write the history of the Sikhs incorrectly after the reign of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. 1849 to 1947, British persecution of the Khalsa. After the British annexed Punjab in 1849, the Khalsa faced decades of political, economic, and religious oppression. Despite constant pressure, the Sikh community continued to defend its faith, identity, and rights. 1. Land and agricultural oppression. British land policies dispossessed many Sikh farmers. Heavy taxes were imposed, traditional land rights were restricted, and many rural families struggled to survive. 2. Police brutality and lathi charges. Peaceful Sikh gatherings and protests were often met with police violence. Lathi charges, arrests, and intimidation became common methods of suppressing public movements. 3. Jaito Morcha, 1923 to 1925. During the Jaito Morcha, peaceful Sikh volunteers marched in support of religious rights. British-backed forces opened fire on unarmed protesters, killing and injuring many participants. 4. Gurdwara Reform Movement, Akali Movement. Beginning in 1920, Sikhs launched a peaceful movement to free historic Gurdwaras from corrupt management. Thousands of volunteers were arrested, imprisoned, and beaten during the struggle. 5. Kukha, Namdhari, Movement 1872. After the Kukha uprising, British authorities carried out severe reprisals. 66 Namdhari Sikhs were executed, many of them by being blown from the mouths of cannons. 6. Restrictions on Sikh identity and freedom. The colonial government imposed restrictions on political activity and kept a close watch on Sikh organizations. Many Sikh leaders and activists were arrested for demanding civil and religious rights. 7. Economic exploitation. High taxation, colonial economic policies, and control over resources placed heavy burdens on Sikh farmers, workers, and traders throughout Punjab. 8. Partition of India, 1947. During the partition of India, Punjab witnessed widespread communal violence. Hundreds of thousands of Sikhs, Muslims, and Hindus were killed or displaced. Sikh communities suffered massive loss of life, forced migration, and the destruction of homes and villages. Conclusion. From 1849 to 1947, the British colonial period brought political repression, economic hardship, and repeated confrontations with Sikh movements. Yet the Khalsa continued to defend its faith, its institutions, and its identity. Despite decades of oppression, the spirit of the Khalsa endured,